If you remember, the other day I had Aiden, and he was creating this golf ball cage, magic cage, whatever we called it. And then he started working on, if you checked out his videos, a segmented bowl. And he's in the middle of his glue ups, and he's got to wait a little while between glue ups. What he's decided is he's going to create this little number. Probably some of you have seen this and you know how it's done, but how do we get the nail inside of there? Today, you're going to find out. He's got a nice piece of rough pine here that he's going to make it out of, and stay tuned and check it out. He's going to rip a piece off of this larger piece, and then we're going to plane it nice and smooth. Let me explain this. When he was cutting this, one thing that I worry about a little bit, when you have a piece like this and you're cutting, what can happen is if you put too much pressure out here, and as you make this cut, you can tend to close that up. Now we have a riving knife on here, so it should save this from happening, but you don't want to put the pressure on this side and close that gap. So instead of doing that, all we did was keep the pressure over here, and it keeps it nice and straight rather than closing it up with all this leverage out here on the left. All right, he's going to plane this down smooth. Okay, so Aiden has got this piece down to size. We face jointed one side of this because it was quite wavy actually. So we face jointed it, and then he planed it to 1.5 inches. So now that those two sides are parallel. Well, we planed it to 1.5 inches thick, and then we ripped it to 2.5 inches, in case you want to make one of these. But the next thing he's going to do is we're going to lay out probably more than just 3. We can lay out maybe 4 openings. So we're going to do that next. All right, we're at the radial arm saw, and we've changed the radial arm saw blade. We've got a dado blade in here. Okay. Now, it's not the exact size that he has to cut, but it is going to remove material a lot faster. So he's going to line up one edge. You're going to put it up against the fence. You're going to bring it out each time. You're going to line up the right-hand tooth with that, and then you're going to bring it over, and you're going to line the left-hand tooth up, and you're going to make those 2 cuts. Come out nice and slow. Hold it as far over to the left as you can. Keep your hand on it when you turn it on. So he will continue to carefully shut it off, line it up, make his cuts until all those are made, and then you're going to see the secret sauce next. Well, here I am again with Aiden, and he is continuing to create his special, what are we going to call this one? Trap nail, yeah. This is called the trap nail gimmick. And this doesn't fit in here right now. We actually have a timber lock screw. He's gonna cut the end of the screw off so that it fits inside of here. But we don't have a drill bit that's long enough to go through all this. We would need a bit this long to go through it all. We don't have one. We ordered one. However, Aiden doesn't want to wait. So he said, how about we do this? We're gonna put one end into the boiling hot water. We're gonna clamp it down. We're gonna drill this in, these 2, because we got a bit long enough to go through these 2. And then we're gonna put that end in the boiling hot water, clamp it down, and then we're gonna drill this in. The only problem with that, Aiden, is what?
They don't line up.
If they don't line up. So what do you think we should do? Wait?
No, just do it.
Just do it?
Line up,
What we could do is we could cut the end of this off, and we'll just do a 4 one. We don't need to have it quite this long to achieve the same effect. So we could just do 4, we'll cut it off here, he'll do one end, and we'll just have to drill through those 2. What do you think, do that?
Yeah.
All right, he's gonna go cut the end of this off right now, and then you're gonna see it dipped into the boiling hot water. Okay, so just like the golf ball trick, if you watched that video, we steamed it, and we were able to pop the golf ball in because we made that wood a little bit flexible. And we're going to try to do the same thing with this. So he's going to drop it in to the water. We're going to weigh it down with some wax, just like that. And we'll leave it in there. We're going to leave this one in there, believe it or not, a little bit longer, 30 minutes. Stay tuned. Time's up. We're going to take this out of the boiling hot water, and we're going to bring it over to the vise. Check this out. Go ahead, Aiden. Pull it out. And walk it on over. All right, now Aiden's gonna clamp it. He's gonna open that up, and we're gonna clamp this thing down. You can put it over here in the middle. Okay, we clamped it right down that far. We're gonna leave it in the clamp. Right now, we're gonna leave it in the clamp for a little while, and then he's going to proceed to drill his hole. Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for. He's gonna take this out, drill it, and we're gonna put that in, and we go back into the hot water. Let's take a look at exactly what this looks like at this point. He's through one. Did you get through them both? There she is. All right, what are we gonna do next?
Put it back in the wood.
Back in the water. Let's take a look at what this looks like before we put it back in the water. Look at this thing. Can you believe that the wood can actually compress that far in order to do it? Isn't that unbelievable? And do you think it's going to come all the way back up to the same height as these four? Stay tuned. One last step. We taped the screw, the timber lock screw that's been cut. We've taped it into the piece so that when we put this into the pot of hot water, it won't fall out. Guess how we learned that? So after just maybe 5 minutes, Aiden just popped it out and take a look. Is that not back to normal? Take the tape off, and does it click back and forth like it oughta? Nice. Now, how did we get that in there? He drilled it at a little bit of a downhill, but it's still the same effect. So if you want to make one of these, now you know how. And that is your tip of the day.